In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Hello and welcome back to the Tech Zone. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. You're in the Tech Zone here on ABC News Radio. I am so happy you decided to stay with me even after we talked about malt liquor in the first segment of the show. If you just tuned in and you have no idea what I'm talking about, my first guest, Tony Polanco, the video game editor, a good friend of mine, we talked about malt liquor and growing up. So check it out. Let me know if you have any malt liquor stories too. This segment of the show, we're going to talk about assistive and adaptive technologies. I want to share a little story with you. When I first got injured back in 1993 and became a quadriplegic, I spent about 8 months in the hospital. Some of you know the story. But the reason why I bring that up is it was a very frustrating experience for me. And I'll tell you why. There were things that I was not able to do anymore, and I really didn't know how to deal with it. So the way I dealt with my frustration at the time is I just got depressed. And sometimes depression is a normal progression when you're going through a catastrophic injury. But I realized after a few years that I had to turn that frustration into empowerment to help others out there who may be going through similar challenges. My next guest was actually born with her disability. She used her frustration to make sure that others who are part of the disabled community would be able to live a more independent life and make life a little bit more easier. And I'm so happy that she has decided to join me on the show. Joining me right now is a very special guest that inspires me. I love what she's all about. Her story is amazing. She just received an amazing award. We're talking about the beautiful Adriana Mallozzi. Adriana, how are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am so happy to be talking to you, and congratulations on receiving that award. And before we talk about that award, why don't you share with us just your journey and a little bit about your disability, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so I have cerebral palsy. So during birth, I stopped breathing, and the lack of oxygen caused brain damage. So that is what CP is. It's basically some sort of trauma to the brain during or shortly after birth. And so that is how I became disabled. And early on, because of the services that I received through Easter Seals, I was introduced to technology. So back in the early to mid 80s, I was introduced to assistive tech, and the first piece of assistive tech was something that allowed me to use a computer. And that was the first time that I was able to do anything all by myself. And, it kind of clicked. Even at a young age, I was only 7 years old at the time. And it just clicked that, hey, technology is going to be how I will be able to do whatever I want to do.
I love it.
Right then and there, I became addicted to tech, basically.
I love it. So you're a technophile like myself, and I love that.
Yeah.
And one thing I really love about your story, Adriana, is I remember when I first got injured back in 1993. See, a lot of the newer individuals who are disabled, who are born like in the new millennium, they have no idea about the struggle that we had with assistive technology. Yeah. But I know when the first time that I was introduced to assistive technology, it was like a whole new world opened up to me. It's like I became alive. I just became, more aspirational. And is did that happen to you as well too?
I think maybe it's a little different for people that obtain an injury or become disabled later in life, simply because you experienced both sides, right? So
Absolutely.
for someone like myself, I never was able to walk or use my hands or anything like that. So technology, yes, it opened up my world, but it was something that I guess, as time went on and as technology evolved, it was just um, something that made my life easier um, and better. And so I think the perspectives are a little different for people um, who are injured or become disabled later in life than people who are born with a disability. But yeah, I mean, it did open up my world, and like I said, it kind of clicked that first moment that I experienced doing something all by myself. That sense of freedom and independence, and I like being in control of things, and so that was something that, wow, this is the one thing that I have full control of. And then soon after, I got my first motorized wheelchair, and it just went on from there. But yeah, it was that sense of, not, or that sense of having control of something. Because that's, as you are aware, depending on others for basic tasks, it's something that no one really wants to have to do. And so being able to do something on your own it's a huge deal. And having some sort of control in your life and what you're doing is a big deal for people with physical disabilities.
You are spot on because, I never was able to articulate it like you just did about being in control. I remember the first wheelchair I had was a manual one, had to be pushed around. And it just, I appreciate it, one's pushing me around because they didn't have to do it. I really appreciate it. But I felt restrictive. And then when I got my motorized wheelchair, it was on. I mean, I was like going everywhere, had some freedom,
Yeah.
So I definitely get what you're saying. And what I like about you too, Adriana, is the fact that having a disability, how you continue to go and get a great education. You have a BA. When it
Yeah.
comes to assistive technology, you're looking for ways that can improve not only your life but the community as a whole. And talk about what made you create your own company, Puffin, and some of the challenges of reaching where you guys are at today.
Yeah, so I mean, it all started at a hackathon at MIT, and it was something that I wanted myself. But I also knew that it could help so many other people. I'm very active in the disability community here in Boston, and I know several individuals who don't even own a smartphone because they physically can't use one. And I know how important it is to be able to communicate if you're out, or if you're at a doctor's appointment, trying to get a ride, trying to coordinate with your help that's waiting for you at home, not knowing where you are or what's going on. And so it's very restrictive if you don't have that access to something as simple as using a phone. And so with the success of the hackathon, with all the press that we received, things just kind of lined up and fell into place. I partnered up with a longtime friend at the time, shortly after, and it just things kind of lined up and fell into place all at the right time, and that's how we ended up where we are right now. And a lot of great people along the way that helped us out, and yeah, things just happened to align at the right time.
I love it. I love it. And hands-free is so important. Yeah. I remember a few years back when I was at the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, and I remember Sean Dubervac. He's a doctor of science, and he real bright mind when it comes to innovation. I remember it was about 4 years ago, and he was saying that we are going to become the interface. And for someone with a disability like myself, I was like, that's going to be awesome because we'll be able to connect things with our mouths. And this piece of innovation right here, Adriana, I'm telling you, this is amazing because some of us are not able to use our hands. I can use mine very limitedly. But to have this hands-free environment, not only will it help us out, but it'll help out the world as a whole. And that's why I think this innovation is a home run.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different applications for this. Not only, to use your phone, obviously, but also for people to gain more independence by getting more educational opportunities. They can have a laptop and, use a laptop forever, or they can take classes online and learn to code and do that sort of thing, have a job. I mean, once you have access to your phone and a computer, you're golden nowadays. You can control your environment with your phone now, so it just opens up a whole world of opportunities that were not possible only a few years ago.
That's so true. And when we look at just technology as a whole, and in my journey, I talked to a lot of entrepreneurs out there, startup companies, and they have a similar story as yourself as far as the frustration of something, and they turn that frustration around to now create a company or create something that can help out. And that's when you see the passion behind these companies. And I feel your passion. I see your passion. And you have to sometimes just sit back and smile and say, wow, I'm making a difference in assistive technology. This is pretty awesome.
Sometimes I say, is this real? Like, how did I get here? And then it's just awesome. I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to be in the field of AT, and I guess, and I've said this often in other interviews, I never imagined actually creating a company of, an AT company. I always dreamed of working in AT for some big company that was developing, whatever devices that were out there. And so this was beyond a dream come true. So I get to be in the field of AT, but or not only do I get to be in the field of AT, but I'm creating things that that have always been in my head throughout the years, and I'm the one making a difference. I'm not just telling someone, hey, it might be a good idea to add this to a product line or something like that. I'm actually, like, I have a say, and I can make that happen. And so it's surreal. It really is surreal that I have this sort of power right now with Puffin, that we can make a difference, and a real difference. And I'm not just some person advising some larger company, and maybe they take my ideas and maybe not, who knows, but in this situation I can just say, hey, we're gonna create this, and we run with it, and that's what's so cool about having a company.
I
So
love it. I love it. I love it. And your innovation, your drive caught the eye of Not Impossible Labs, and you were given an award. How does it feel to have that type of recognition?
it's just amazing. I was just, I'm in awe of what Not Impossible does and what they stand for, and to be recognized by them is just such an honor. And I just, yeah, I can't even. There aren't words to really express how honored I am that they chose me for the Limitless Award. It's just been such an amazing experience, interacting with them, working with them on our video, for our documentary. They're just amazing people doing amazing things, and trying to make a difference in this world. And for them to see to acknowledge that what we're doing is making a difference in the world, it's just an honor.
I love it. I love it. And that's one thing I wanted to make sure that I did when I started to make kind of tech my niche, is that I wanted to make sure that I designated some time for AT, because it's a part of my life every day. And we need to spread the word even more. And I'm happy to be able to have you on to share your story, to see that beautiful smile that you have. You have a gorgeous smile, Adriana. And,
Thank you.
and just to hear your story, it's amazing. So how can one find out more information about Puffin?
So they can go to puffininno.com, or on all social media platforms at Puffin Inno. And we are actually, we're crowdfunding right now to go to market. So we need to raise funds so we can manufacture our device, go to manufacturing. It costs a lot of money to get FCC certified because our device is wireless, to get injection molding for the parts, and all of that good stuff. So it takes a lot of funds to make this a reality and to put it in the hands, or as I like to say, in the mouths of users. And so, yeah, if you go to our website, you will see our crowdfunding campaign, and we'd really appreciate any type of backing. Every little bit counts. And hopefully, by the end of the summer, or the beginning of the fall, we can go to manufacturing thanks to you and your contributions. But yes, please.
Awesome. And I'll make you a promise too. I want to have you on in a couple of months, and let's see how everything is going. Let's continue to beat the drum together. What you're doing is changing lives and impacting lives, and so happy to have you in the AT game when it comes to assistive technologies and everything. And it was an awesome time talking with you, and look forward to catching up with you real soon, Adriana.
Thank you very much, Paul.
I love the interview with Adriana. She is just an amazing person, and congratulations on the award that she received. Just an outstanding person, a beautiful person, wonderful smile. Follow her. You will be empowered by her. You will be encouraged by her. And I'm so happy that I have been able to meet her and consider her definitely an ally in this fight when it comes to assistive technology. I told you I was going to use my platform here in tech to educate you out there when it comes to assistive and adaptive technology. It's just not all about games and televisions and apps and all the cool things that technology offers, but it's the technology that's changing people's lives. And what Adriana is doing in her team is truly amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Tech Zone. Remember to connect with me, PaulAmadeusLane.com. Leave a comment, email me, let me know how you feel about malt liquor and other things out there when it comes to the tech field. Until next time, take care, folks. I love you all, and have a great day. And remember, don't let the smooth chase fool. In the words of Lando Calrissian, Billy D. Williams. Take care, folks.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.